Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. All these video games were released at some time in November 1982. We were last on the Atari home computer checking out one of the best games you can play on any home computer, Necromancer. That means it's all downhill from here. Let's see what our next game is. Oh, it's Nibbler on the TRS-80 color computer. Not to be confused with Nibbler by Rockola that we saw in the arcades in October 1982. Totally different Nibbler. All we got for this one is an advertisement you would have seen, and it's another one by Color Quest for the TRS-80C. The TDP System 100, yeah, that's just too technical for me. You can see what they're doing here. They have some other games, Nibbler and Miss Nibbler, something to look forward to because we haven't seen Miss Nibbler yet, but it looks like a cartoon, like or a comic panel. Very, very nice. And there is another ad by Color Quest. Where is Nibbler? Oh, there he is. The fast-paced maze chase game will entertain the entire family. I don't know about the entire family. We'll see about that. And then we have an example of the screenshot, and it completely gave the game away. Let's pop in and play Nibbler. This is by Colorful Software, published by Nelson Software Systems at some time in November 1982. And Nelson will eventually become Color Quest. All right, so this one, how do we load it? Is it machine language or is it basic? This is our 168th game that we've seen for the TRS-80 color computer. That's how many games are out there, or at least the ones that we've seen so far. All right, I want to nibble the game. Nibbler the game, yes. So this is the fourth game we've seen by Nelson Software Systems, or what's going to be later known as Color Quest. They've done Beyond the Simian Moon is the other one we've seen. There it is, Nibbler. And Color Software, this is the third game we've seen that they've done. They've done Color Out and Defense, all on the TRS-80 color computer. As far as the developer, this is Tom Zarnecki, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Way to go, Tom. The first game we've ever seen by Tom Zarnecki. And so, oh, it just goes right in with the joystick. Nice. Oh, yes, that is the color. We're playing on the Coco for sure because we're bathed in green. And it's Pac-Man. It's very obviously Pac-Man. Another one. So it is working well with the joystick. I have no complaints. It's a little bit slow, and I'm sure people may have poked the game to make it go a little bit faster. What is that in the middle? Is that a Pac-Man with a halo on it? Instead of, oh, is that supposed to be a fruit? Maybe it was an apple or something from the center. We don't know because we don't have the manual. We are in the dark ages of video games. Oh, we get some sound effect when we die. That's quaint. Very nice. So this one is the 136th Pac-Man variant that we've played here on Chronologically Gaming. On all systems, all platforms, all ports. This is the 136th Pac-Man. Yikes. On home computers, this is the 94th Pac-Man game that we've played so far. And this is the 11th Pac-Man game that we played on the TRS-80 Coco. There's already 11. That's crazy. Notice that whenever I get the power pellet, none of the ghosts change, but Pac-Man changes. So that's a slight difference. But at this point, we're looking for any little different. But look how crazy the ghosts are completely honing in on my position. It is not fair. Yeah, there you go. Curtis put in the comments about what is different about the game because it is a little strange. Wait, I don't get to put. Do I get to put my name in? Yes, the whole thing, right? Oh, okay, not the whole thing. Just the initials. That's all you get. This is the only way to play official Pac-Man right now on any home computer is on the Atari home computer, the Atari 400 or Atari 800, and everything else that you could play as far as Pac-Man style games or the best games you could play that are Pac-Man-ish right now would be things like. I was going to say, on all home computers, it's going to be tricky because the TRS-80 color computer has 11 Pac-Man games already, so we could rate it against all those. At least I know when I got the power pellet because Pac-Man turns red. He's angry. But the ghosts don't turn blue, so it's harder to tell. But anyway, some of the best games you could play that are Pac-Man style games on computers would be games like Megabug. On the Coco, I gave that one a 3.5-star rating of all the games you could play on home computers. But then we also have Cave Hunter, Ghost Gobbler, Pac-Tac, Packet Man, Scarf Man, Snack Pack. And in the lower tier, I'd say Pac Maze, if you wanted to play Pac-Man style games, at least on the Coco. That's what this is going up against, because you already have 11 options, so this one is not really doing that much different compared to the other games you could play, but it does play okay. It does work well. I actually wouldn't call this bad. I mean, it's blatantly copying Pac-Man, but I'd say around 2.5 stars for all the games you could play on all home computers. Oh, that's true. We only have 3 ghosts is another difference. Inky, Blinky, and Pinky, and then I guess Clyde got the boot. There's no Clyde here when you're playing Nibbler. So looking over the chat, I see some other 2.5 stars. So I already called most of the chat, it looks like. Yeah, for slowness, 2.5, I can see that too. Yeah, but I had a good time. Nibbler's a good time. It's not a bad time on a home computer for all the games you could play up to this point. 2.5 stars for everything on all home computers up to this point. Top end of the 2.5. Yeah, since we only have a 5-star rating, it's more like we're giving these games tiers, you know, like our classes of quality for all the video games you could play up to this point. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going to Japan to play on the NEC PC-6001. This is North Atlantic Convoy Raider. Oh gosh. If that one doesn't float your boat, then you can also just say it in Japanese, which is right here. Nice. We've seen plenty of games that are published, taken from Avalon Hill and brought over to Japan. And here's the next one. This game was first seen on the North Star in 1978. We do not cover or play the North Star computer. So we didn't see that very first version, but we did see it in 1980 for the Apple II, for the TRS-80, Commodore PET, and the Atari home computer. So this one is just the North American game brought over to Japan. There's really not much to the box. I mean, it's just... I wonder if it's even describing the game. I didn't translate the entire box, but very, very simple. In this game, you're the captain of the mighty German battleship Bismarck, the single most powerful ship in the Atlantic. Hitler's given you the nearly impossible task of fighting through the British home fleet and sinking enough convoys to force Britain to surrender. Your level of victory will be determined by how many merchant ships and battleships you can sink. Your decisions will determine the fate of the Bismarck. So it's a strategy game. What other artwork do we have for that? We also have the manual cover, at least what I could muster. And besides the box, we have the cassette tape that you'd pop in and play on your home computer in Japan. But that's about it. And in fact, this is another one of those games that is lost to time, most likely because if a game comes from North America, it doesn't have as high regard in Japan, and that's probably why we can't see it or play it. So I'm going to have to give this game a 0 rating of all the games you could play. Not that it's a 0, we're now going to just call it it's not rated because we didn't get a chance to play it ourselves. Even though I'm pretty sure this is the exact same game as the Avalon Hill one that we've already played from 1980. So there you go. But that's not it. North Atlantic Convoy Raider was also for the Fujitsu FM7. Ooh. Another game that we're not going to be able to play. All we have is some screenshots for it, so you can see it looks exactly like it did. Actually, it looks very close to what it did on the TRS-80 here, except for some of the Japanese text. So you can see, yeah, it's just text only. It's very much to be desired, and you can understand that the game was originated from 1978. Yeah, there it is. Originally from Avalon Hill and brought over by Kia Overseas Industries. They just gave it a little splash of localization. That's about it. So this one, just like the others, we're not going to be able to rate it because we can't play it. If you can find these games, we'll play these, but we've already played the other computers from 1980, so I think we'll be okay. All right, if you want to check out more of North Atlantic Convoy Raider, as usual, I recommend you check out the Wargaming Scribe. He does a blog and not a video of him playing these games. So he's not actually playing the games live. He more is playing and then documenting what it's like to play strategy games. So if you want to get deep into wargaming, check out Wargaming Scribe, and I'll include links down below. All right, after that game, what's next in November 1982? It's more on the TRS-80 color computer. This is Nova Pinball. Awesome, let's check it out. Another one we don't have a box for, just an advertisement flyer. There it is, an exciting new pinball simulation for the color computer with all the action that's made it an all-time favorite. Really? $20? That's kind of uppity for a TRS-80 color computer game. You can see a few other games that they have a few on here that we're going to be seeing later too. And that's it. We just have some screenshots after that. We do have the directions because you are going to need to know how to load the game, plus you're going to need to know the controls. So memorize these before you play Nova Pinball. Let's pop in and play Nova Pinball. Who's this by? I don't know. But it's published by Bumblebee Software at some time in November 1982. Another one that will just load up. This is our 169th game we played on the TRS-80 color computer. Oh, it's machine language. Great. Bring it on. Nova. This is the first game we've ever seen by Bumblebee Software. And I have no idea who did this. If you do know who did this, let me know, and we'll credit them in our spreadsheet where we keep track of every single video game. Execute. And we're in. It's pinball, video pinball. This would be the 27th video pinball game we've ever played on Chronologically Gaming. In November 1982, there's just about 27 video pinball games. This is the 13th that we've seen for home computers, and this has a lot of competition. And this happens to be the second pinball we've ever seen on the Coco. The other one was Pinball from 1980. And some of the best ways to play pinball we'll get into as we go into this one because it's a little bit rough off the top of your head. First thing you want to do is insert a coin by hitting C. C. There it is. Okay, my coins go in the slot. Nice. And you can play 1 to 4 players, but it's hot seat style. No one's bouncing balls and playing at the same time. So we'll do a 1-player game, but you can play up to 4 people if you want to take turns. And then it goes through the number of players, and now you can start with your flipper control. Oh, okay, so no, it's the plunger control, which is you can push the P button, and it pushes down how much pressure or tension you want, and then when you push S, then it goes into it. So here we go, ready? Oh gosh, that responded so slow, I didn't even get any of the flippers to move. All right, let's try it again. Pushing P, plunging down, and I'm ready to play pinball. Down. Oh my gosh, it responded once, but then it went away. Is something wrong with the way this... I'll try it again with the... And go. Oh my gosh, I hit it. It's so slow, though. Look at how it was responding. What? And that time, it feels like it's pinball in slow motion, and it's barely responding to my actions whenever I use the keys. I don't even think this is joystick control too, because let me try this again. Let me put a coin in. Yep, start it over. We'll do, again, 1-player game. I'm already getting some strange vibes, and all my playtests for this have been irksome. Something's weird with Nova Pinball. It's very slow. Oh, really? It does. If it does look a little off, I wonder if it might be the emulation. But for all the different playtests I've seen, and I've seen a couple footage online. I try to get footage for people that are playing on actual hardware too. Something's often slow about this one. You may have poked it. Let's try it again. Ready? Oh, it follows. Oh, okay. It follows the same pattern in the beginning. Ready, and plunge it down. Yeah, the game is yikes. And the flipper response, like whenever I'm using the keys, it's like it does it for a second, but then it doesn't respond after that. Wow. Let's try it again. Go, go, go. Hit me. What in the world? Yeah, it's jank. It's a very jank pinball. Now, there's a lot of good pinball that's out there. At this point, we played some incredible pinball that Bill Budge has done. He's done some of the best pinball we've seen on any home computer up to this point. He started with doing a pinball part of the Trilogy of Games series, and then he also did Raster Blaster, which was kind of leading into the pinball construction set that we just saw. So it's brand new, but it's like top-tier pinball. You also could be playing games like Night Mission Pinball or Pinball Spectacular that HAL Laboratory had done. That's so good for computers or computer video pinball. Yeah, this is not action pinball. This is slow pinball or barely responding pinball. So if you want to play other pinball, there is some good stuff on home consoles too, but we rate this against all the other home computers that are available right now in November 1982. Nova Pinball isn't responding well. It really isn't playing well, and I'm sure I could have poked it to maybe speed it up more, but there's a lot to be desired here. I'm going to have to go lower tier. Looking over the chat, well, I got some 1 stars, half star. Yeah, it wasn't really responding very well, even in my playtest too. So I'm thinking 1.5 star maybe of all the games you could play up to this point. Yeah, it's If someone has a better experience or a way I can experience, I'm going to have to go with 1 star for right now. Nova Pinball has been borderline broken as far as pinball games go. And you can play really good pinball still on the Atari 2600 right now, too. But we're not rating against consoles, only the computers, and they got a lot to live up to with this game has to compared to the other things out there. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going to play on MS-DOS. This is Novatron. Sweet. Novatron? Is that like better than Tron? Let's check it out together. This one is something I wasn't familiar with. It's for the IBM personal computer. We say everything that's for MS-DOS could also be PC-DOS or for PC boot or anything that's mostly IBM computers up to this point. They're already starting to make some clones of IBM computers, but we're just going to say everything MS-DOS because you know it's what's going to happen. MS-DOS is going to blow up. It's going to be amazing. Build some real excitement with a high-speed strategy game by Jim McMahon. Way to go, Jim. Verisoft Works did this one. And that's about it. All we got is a screenshot. We kind of know what we're getting into with a picture like that. This one is the 125th MS-DOS game we've seen so far on Chronologically Gaming. Already that much out there. Okay, so besides that, how do we play Novatron? This requires the IBM personal computer with 64K of RAM. That's still the max amount of memory we've seen for any video game up to this point. No video game we've seen for manuals or documentation has required over 64K of RAM. So this one is an expensive game to play. It explains how to install Novatron and play it. It's a high-speed strategy game. Strategy? Okay. Based on the building walls and trapping your opponents. So it's basically Tron, which we played in the arcade. And then before that, it was based on lots of other light cycle style video games. So it explains how to play the game. You can do different play select with A, B, and C, waiting 45 seconds. There's 4 keys that control the wall building. They call it wall building. Nice. Very interesting key combinations here, but they're going to describe this when we actually boot the game up too. And that's about it. Losing 3 games in a row causes the program to restart. Good luck. Very bare bones. Verisoft Works, though, this is the second game we've seen by this company. They did Kamikaze Alien, which was another very weird... It was like kind of like a shooter, but anyway, humble beginnings of Verisoft Works. There's really not too much out there. And I think that is it. Yes, legal mumbo jumbo. All right, let's pop in and play Novatron. Released at some time in November 1982. If you want to use composite mode, press F12. Sweet. Let's try it. There we go. All right, so the insert key turns left. The delete key turns right. The F10 speeds up the wall. F9, hold on, I got to get my fingers on the keys. Insert, delete, F10, and F9? That's so strange. There is cursor keys on the IBM computer. Why aren't they using the cursor keys? I don't understand. What option do you want to use? And then we can use sound or no sound. Oh, we're doing sound, but we'll do a beginner game and see how that one goes. Here we go. Oh, it builds it. Nice. Okay, so I'm the cyan colored wall, and the computer is the magenta wall. Oh, and I hit the wall first. I was trying to trap it in. Chump level? Is that what it said? How dare it? So I lost the first round. Let's see what happens this time. It is Tron, or the light cycle style of Tron. Did I get it? Yeah, I think I got it. Now I just gotta stay alive. Come on. Die. Yes! You get 1 point. Okay, so it looks like I get 1 point. I'm the chump. And then the computer gets a point, so it's just keeping track of each one. I haven't even used the speed up because it's very bizarre playing an isometric viewed Tron light cycle game. Oh, look, he did the speed up. You gotta be really fast. Yikes. So let's try it with speed up. Yeah, there we go. So I can speed myself and go really fast, but it's crazy to play this kind of light cycle game on an isometric view because the controls are absolute controls, the controls are relative controls. So as I'm turning left and right, I'm turning to the left based on the last time I turned left. So like I have to push the same key again and then the same key again. Look how cheap that is. Sorry, it lasts 3 times in a row. Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, really, really tough controls. One, because they put the controls on the keyboard in interesting places, but then they also have the viewpoint that is just different, because every other light cycle game we played to this point has just been top down, really easy to get into and control. But yeah, this one's a little bit trickier to do. All right, let's go with one again, beginner. I'm very intrigued though. Let's go there. Got him. Nice. I crashed him the first time. That's awesome. Oh, see, I can barely tell if I was going to be able to make the wall or get past him or not. That's really crazy. Yeah, I know, right? They call it this kind of style of game a light cycle game, but there's no light cycle. We're just building the walls. But that's kind of what the origins of this style of game came from. We originally saw Commotion and Blockout in October 1976. Those were the first games that were like this. No, you don't. Oh, man, that's tough. Man, it can be fast-paced, too. If you crank the speed up, it's awesome. Let me do it again. One player or beginner's mode. Nope, not even close. Just push the wrong key. Hey, Sisters of Mercy, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Man, that's tough. I like the look, though. Anything that's isometric view like this just makes me think that we're playing something from the future. That it's not just the same old game that we had before. I can't imagine, though, you spending all that money to get the 64K of RAM and get this on your IBM PC to run and play this way. Yikes. It would just be... You get used to the controls, and I'm sure... Because there's no joystick. You have to do this all with keyboard. It's so cool, though. It's awesome. So, I already mentioned this is a light cycle style game. Of all the games we've seen on Chronologically Gaming, this is the 19th light cycle game that we played on all systems, all over the world, everywhere. After Commotion and Blockade that we saw in October 1976, some of the other popular light cycle style games we've seen so far have been Surround on the Atari VCS. We also saw Snafu on the Intellivision, and then after that, then we saw Tron, the one that everyone equates to this kind of game. Tron did this as one of the game modes in the arcade, and we also saw it on a handheld. They did the same thing too. Got him. So this one is kind of like Tron, like a fan game based on Tron, because someone would have already played this in the arcades. Nice. Got another one. Awesome. We played Tron Journey to the MCP on the Commodore PET, which was a fan game of Tron. And so, oh wait, look at that. You win, and it goes to the... Wait, now we got two? What? So first time I've ever seen this, where you go to the next level, and it's like it grew on top of the other one. Okay, I got that one. Let's see if we can get the other one. Block him in. Whoa, and so you got to get through two, and that means this can go level to level, adding more and more wall building at the same time. That's cool. So we haven't seen that with any of these light cycle variants, where they're adding multiple enemies to face it at the same time. I like the CGA graphics, because that's like, high-end graphics for IBM computer up to this point. And as far as this view, we call everything that's isometric, dimetric, trimetric. We just call it all axonometric projection. And so this is the 19th game we've played that is taking this kind of viewpoint or visual presentation. Zaxxon is out there, and that's very popular. Qbert is also extremely popular. Well, one of the first ones we ever saw was Treasure Island by Data East in the arcade that did this kind of perspective for a video game. So I dig this. I dig it. And it's original, and it's different. For all the games you could be playing on home computers, we haven't seen a game that looks like this, but it's obviously playing the same as it, or very similar to all the other light cycle games. That's pretty cool, though. When you go through, if you're good enough and you can add multiple levels, it adds more enemies for you to face. It is a single-player only game, though, so you can't play with anybody else. Yeah. I'm looking over in the chat, and I see some mostly averages, 2.5 to 3 stars for all the games you could play. Gameplay-wise, you're going to be playing this by yourself, and so it does have game modes, but there's not too much to offer other than adding the viewpoint, right? It's the isometric view, so yeah, give it something good. Hey, thanks, Dryerlin17. Appreciate it. And yes, more Commodore 64 to come as well. All right, so for Novatron, I'd say, yeah, still around the average range for all the games you could play. I want to say 3.5, just because isometric is awesome, the viewpoint, and because it's changing up when you go from level to level. Yeah, so I won't go as low as 2.5. I'll say 3, average for all the games you could play on all home computers. It's the future. That's what we're going to be seeing later. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going back to Japan. This is Kaku Senso. If that doesn't sound familiar, this is Nukewar that we saw first, or this was first seen on the North Star again in 1978. And then we saw it here on Chronologically Gaming for the Apple II, the TRS-80, Commodore PET, and Atari home computer in 1980. And here it is being ported over again to Japan. So this one, all I have is just screenshots of what the game was. In the 1996 Computer Gaming World list of the 150 best computer games of all time, this game was on it. Because of all the original Avalon Hill strategy games, this is one of those games that was doing something a little bit different, and it worked really well. It was the 135th position from the Computer Gaming World's list, but it was around games like Might and Magic and Heroes of Might and Magic and Ultima 3. So it must have been doing something right to get on that list. And this game is, once again, something we already seen on the show, but we were not able to play it here because this does not exist. I couldn't find any dumps online for this version of the game. I'm pretty sure it plays just like the other strategy games, but since we can't really tell ourselves, I'm going to have to rate it a no rating, 0. So if you want us to play this version of the game, then we will if we can find it. But that's not all. We also have Nukewar, also for the NEC PC-6001. Kaku Senso was also here on this computer because we're playing and seeing every single video game. Here's the box for Kaku Senso. Now this one is just like all the other ones, at least I'm sure they may have changed a few things, but we never know unless we play it for ourselves. As usual, if you want to check out more strategy-style games or dive in even deeper than we do here on Chronologically Gaming, please check out Wargaming Scribe, and I'll include links down below of his review of Nukewar. It's a cool game. Nukewar is essentially like a Cold War simulation of who's got the most nukes to blow other people up. So that's why it would be on the Computer Gaming World's list of the 150 best computer games of all time. So I'm sure they ate it up and loved it over in Japan. Yeah, right? That's right. Someone in the chat just said, the only way to win is not playing, and that's correct. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're just not going to play this game, or at least this version of the game. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. All right, next is the game Pac Droids. This is for the TRS-80 color computer. Let's check it out together. Another one that we don't have a lot of information for. This is the ad you would have seen in magazines, or at least a small cutout of the ad. Pac Droids by Charles Forsyth. Way to go, Charles. With us shooting things. We like to shoot stuff. And then another one, too. Oh, there it is. That was just, I just took this ad and blew up the picture with a few other things that we see. This one is by the Programmers Guild. The 5th game we've seen by the Programmers Guild, and the 3rd game that we've seen by Charles Forsyth. He did Space Intruders and Tower of Fear, at least so far. Oh, there we go. Someone fabricated a box. I don't think this is the real one, but I love it. Looks great. All right, here we go. We got we got the alternate version. So we're going to play the original of Pac Droids for the Coco. This is the Programmers Guild, released at some time in November 1982. All right, this is our 170th game that we've seen on the TRS-80 color computer. Now you see how we keep track of every game. We just keep going game by game. Every time they release something, just add to the stats. Pac Droid. Bring it on. I'm ready. This one is machine language too, so we're hopefully going to be faster than it would be in basic. So many games. Yeah, there we go. Programmers Guild. Press any key to start. Ready, set. Oh, here we go. Keyboard control set. We can use J for joystick control. Number of players to start. Okay, sweet. So I want to do, let's try with joystick control. And then you can do 4 players. kind of like the pinball game we just played, because it's done in hot seat arcade style. You don't get to play with 4 people all at the same time, but I'll just do 1 player. Ready, set, go. Oh, sweet. Oh, wait, I don't think my joystick's plugged in. Oh, it is. Okay, so it is. I see. It is, but it's... All right, I thought it wasn't plugged in at first, but it is responding. It has this cool feature to the game that when you're playing, you pick up power-ups. If you look at the top of the screen, it's keeping a track of how many things you can destroy or blow up. When you pick up a power-up, though, you change into a crosshair. Oh, dang, I died again. This is a very unique Pac-Man game, because we're obviously still playing Pac-Man, you know, going around the screen, picking up dots and so forth. But you have an explosive power-up that destroys everyone on 1 row of in line of sight, at least, for blowing up bad guys. When you pick up a power pellet, you end up turning into a crosshair that you can still use that you can use your power to destroy enemies. Oh, we can put initials in? Can we put initials in? Oh. I put in the wrong initials, but that'll work for now. I wonder why it didn't respond. Let me try keyboard controls to see if it responds a little faster. Yeah, let's go with K for keyboard and go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I got a better response. Very nice. Okay, so right now, at the top of the screen, it's displaying the number of lives and the number of shots you have. Let's see if we can get some enemies here. Boom, and it should blow everyone up in the row, or whichever way you're facing. Yeah, and they're totally gone. Look at that, wiped them from existence, and they're going to be continue to generate from the center. But I can't destroy any of these. I have to run away from these guys. But if I can get to the power pellet here, then I can turn the tables and... But it only takes care of all the ones on a certain row. Very different. It's after all the Pac-Mans we played. This one is intriguing. It's doing something that we haven't seen done before. So yeah, I want to sink my teeth in and play it longer because of just it's trying to do something new. After playing every single video game, we kind of get used to the tropes and know what to expect for games. And so this one's doing something different. I like it. I'm just going to run away. Hopefully I can get over here. Nope, didn't get it. Oh, if you hit all the red ones, you can change the crosshair? Nice. All right, now it worked. There's the high score. Awesome. That's great. So this one is the 137th Pac-Man variant that we played on Chronologically Gaming. Yes, keep going. I want to keep playing this. This is fun. This is the 95th Pac-Man game we played on all home computers up to this point. Oh, he still got me. Because once you switch to the crosshair, you have to make sure you can use your power-up then. If I try... Okay, you can try to use it right now. Let's see. Yeah, I like the twist, too. It's refreshing when it's not something you've seen in the arcade, too. I love how we've seen home computers do something new that's not copying or ripping off the arcade. All right, go up here, and... Oh, it's only in my line of sight, though. Notice I wasn't pointing at him. You have to make sure you are looking that direction. I was pointing the other way, and whenever I used the power-up, it didn't destroy any enemies. No, you don't. That didn't work to go over the top of him. Sound effects are where it's at. And having the 4-player is more of a novelty. It's not a big deal if you can do 4 people at the same time. All right, so let's do it again. Go, go, go. So cool. And still, the only official Pac-Man you can play on any home computer up to this point is Pac-Man on the Atari home computer. That's it, as far as official Pac-Man goes. Go, go, go. All right, I'm going to try it again before getting the power-up. Looks like I can pick this. Oh, look, and he runs away. Oh, if he turns red, then I can get him. I see, with the crosshair. But there's only one, so they're actually giving us different enemy types on the board. the enemies that are red, when you're the crosshair, you can just run over them as if you were Pac-Man. So it has the same kind of, look at that, see? But with the blue one, like that one there, I can use my power-up to blow him up, if he's in line of sight at least. Yeah, this game didn't get a breakfast cereal like the other Pac-Man did. Oh, and you can lay mines down? That's so cool. Yeah, this is awesome. This is a fun new take on Pac-Man. And I want to play more. So the 4-player arcade hot seat kind of game, this is the 39th game that we played. That is 4 players, not all at the same time, you know, you take turns. The 39th game we played on all systems like that. On the TRS-80 color computer, this is the 5th game that we played that allows you to play 4 people, but you're going to take turns. Games like Bust Out, or Moonlander, or Frog Trek, or the one we just saw, Nova Pinball, allowed 4 people to play. You just didn't get to all play at the same time. Still some of the best ways to play Pac-Man on the Coco. I still say Mega Bug on the Coco is one of the best ways to play Pac-Man style games. And then Cave Hunter is still very good. Ghost Gobbler, Pac Tac, Packet Man, Scarf Man, Snack Pack. I'd say that the lower end of these kinds of games would be Pac Maze for everything you can play up to this point. Yeah, right? Looking over the chat, great ratings. I saw the 3.5 to 4. Yeah, some originality bumps it to 4. I wouldn't say as high as 4. Oh, wait. Get it. If I can get this crosshair. These guys following me, they're all going to start running. Watch. Nice. Rack up the points, and then you can use your power-up to blow up like that row. Or column. Just destroy. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now that I'm getting the hang of the game. Oh, you got to watch out for the mines, too. Yeah, so fun. Yeah, so I was thinking it's still around the average range, just maybe slightly above average for all the games you could play on all home computers. Pac Droids is doing something new and different, and we really love that on Chronologically Gaming. So yeah, I've seen a lot of 3.5s for everything up to this point. Actually, a lot of people are saying 3.5 stars. I got a 4-star from the Les Nuisances Came Wild, and then, yeah, mostly 3.5s. And I contest, yeah, 3.5 stars for Pac Droids. It is a good time in November 1982 on a home computer for everything else that you could play out there. All right, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Thanks so much for joining me here on the live show. It's great to be back, checking out every single video game in order of release. And be sure to leave a comment down below if you're watching this later. You lasted till the end of the episode. Thanks so much for tuning in and checking us out. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, we are chasing pirates on the Astrocade, invading planets on the TRS-80 color computer, and Namco is bringing a different Pac-Man home for the first time on the Sword M5. That's it for today, and like I always say, if the game is not fun, then stop playing. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.